If your dad wouldn't like this for Father's Day, I hope you got him something real nice for Mother's Day. So guys, this is the perfect Father's Day gift, and it's super easy to do. We've been doing a lot of big projects and stuff, but we decided to kind of go back, do some simple stuff. If you're a first-time carver or just getting started, this one's pretty easy. We're going to be using our Bookman font. We'll use 1 inch and 1.5 inches, and we're also going to be using our little barbecue template. So we got a ton of stuff you can do for Father's Day, but I picked this one because I thought this was a funny sign. So you can find everything we use today plus way more on our website, makeawoodsign.com. And guys, we don't have sponsors. Everything we do is funded by you guys buying supplies from us. So go over to makeawoodsign.com, check it out, and see if there's anything you need. All right, let's get started. So this sign was made on a 6x24 inch piece of blue pine. Now with a barbecue, or really with any template, if you only have one, you can put 2 on a sign, or as many as you want. They're obviously reusable. So I marked where the first one was going to go, and then I measured. That was about 3¼ inches, and I put a line on each side so I had plenty of room to put my barbecues after the lettering was done. For 3 lines of lettering, I made my mark for the bottom of the top line and the bottom of the bottom line. And then what I'm going to do, once I get those lines done, I'm going to center that middle line in there. So it's all about spacing, getting the right amount of space in between each set of lettering so you have plenty of room to carve. Because this is inset, I didn't really have to worry about a cloud. So when it's inset and you're doing your layout, you can put the letters a lot closer together. Once I have my marks down, then I'm going to start with my middle line because that's the longest line. And you see I measured to where I have equal amounts of space on both sides. Once I have that down, then I center the top and bottom line on that middle line. Now there's going to be a heart next to the eye, so I didn't put the eye dead center in the middle. I put it just about a 1/2 inch to the left of the middle so there's room for that heart. Once you get that done, then you put your template down, you spray one side of the sign, then you just switch it over and spray the rest of it. This whole layout really only took about 10 minutes maybe. Once that was all done, I had Dad draw the heart because I cannot draw to save my life. Real quick guys, we've been on YouTube for about 15 years. We've got thousands of videos and they're all free. They don't cost you anything. And we're teaching you a trade here. If you go to trade school, it's gonna cost you. So do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. We started off with a profile bit at 3/16 of an inch deep. Now I preach all the time, do the hardest stuff first, but this is a little bit different. Because outset is going into inset carving, I actually did the top and the bottom of the barbecue first because I'm going to take my carving liner when I do the flames and I'm going to take those lines and extend them into the inset part. When you're mixing the two, it can get kind of confusing. So do your inset work first and then come back and then carve your outset stuff into your inset. That way there's no distinction between the 2 lines. They flow in together really, really well. Now for the legs and the little wheel, that can be kind of tricky a little bit if you don't have too much practice because technically it's just single line. There's not a whole lot of room for error. So with something like that, just make sure you have as much of your hands and arms on the board and the table as possible and take your time. It really doesn't take all that much practice. Now that the inset parts of the barbecue are done, I'm going to take my carving liner, which is our fine detail bit, and I'm going to carve out the little handle at the top of the barbecue, and I'm going to carve out the flames. Now this looks like it's kind of hard, but it's really not. All you're doing is outlining it. So if you kind of separate it in your mind, don't think you're carving flames. Just go in and take out all the black in the middle of the flames. It's going to end up looking really well. But if you try to take it all at once, if you try to picture how it's going to look at the end, it can get a little bit confusing again. So all I'm doing is going in, I'm outlining the outside edge, and then I'm taking away all the black, and whatever flows into that inset carving, I'm going to take it all the way in. Nice and simple. Now I'm going to use the 60-degree bit at a little over 3/16 of an inch deep. But you can see right here, there's some burring. So I actually took that bit a little bit too deep. So with your 60-degree bit, depending on how many times you've had it sharpened, you can't go past the flutes, which I ended up doing. So I had to back it off a little bit to where it was just under 3/16 of an inch deep. Now you can see the difference between me carving the heart and the eye right there. When it's carving right, you won't have any burring. So all I'm doing for this, guys, is I'm going in and I'm outlining all of the letters. This is the Bookman font, and it's pretty simple to carve, but when you get down to 1 inch, it can be a little bit harder. That's when you have to add some creative work to your serifs, and don't try to get them straight. But for the 1.5 inches, it's nice and easy. You just go in and take it out. For some reason, this is really satisfying to watch. Also, don't forget, guys, I'll have links in the description below for all of the stuff we're using today. And to be honest, if you're going to get into sign carving, or if you're already doing it and you're trying to do it with box store bits, it makes it a lot harder. Our bits are specially designed for this, so give them a shot. You'll see a huge difference. Now normally to do cleanup on the inside of big inset stuff, I use the 90-degree bit, but this was just a little bit, so I didn't see any reason to switch bits or switch routers. The 60-degree worked just fine for doing that. Just make sure you brush it out before you spray it. For the edge, I just wanted something simple because most guys are simple. So I put a small chamfer on the back, and then I put a scalloped edge on the front to give it a nice finished look. And to do this, I used our 45-degree chamfer bit. Now for the color, first of all, if you're going to use felt pens, make sure you do the color before you do your clear coat. Otherwise, it will not soak into the wood and it's going to smudge and make a mess. I just colored the bottom third yellow, the middle third orange, and the top third red. I'm not an artist by any means whatsoever, but that was pretty simple. To finish it off, I put about 6 coats of clear on this thing, and that really makes those felt pen colors pop.
So there it is. I think it looks really good. I like doing the outset flames with the inset barbecue. That was a little bit more tricky, but if you just kind of follow the steps on the video, it's really not that hard. So it's a really simple carve, and it's a great Father's Day gift. And also, I think this would be a good seller around Father's Day, 4th of July, things like that. So guys, as always, thank you for watching. Remember, everything that we have here, we'll have links in the description below. And if you have any questions, you can shoot me an email, ryan@makeawoodssign.com. All right, we'll see you guys on the next one.